Peace, family. This is Dr. Sadiki Baye coming to you once again every Saturday, as usual, to share with you uh, the knowledge that I have been blessed with through my efforts by the Creator in honor of the ancestors. And I'd like to thank you once again for blessing me to enter into your home to share with you what I have been blessed with. Because all of us have something to offer. So let us find an avenue to share with one another, the things that we have to offer. Because no one knows it all. But we must be masters very skillful at relaying what we do know to one another so that we can build that trust in one another again. So the topic for today, family, is relevant. This is a deep topic now, so you can get your pen and pad and put your thinking cap on and open up your mind, to receive what I'm willing to share with you, and be very flexible, because some things I know that I say that you're not aware of, but let's not be so quick to throw it away. At least consider it, because learning means that you're internalizing some things or receiving some things that you're not familiar with, or you add to what you're already aware of. So some of these things might be reminders and some things might be new. But guess what? Learning can be painful at the same time. But let's not be so quick to reject it. So, with that in mind, family, let us talk about relevant. Relevant. Relevant means to be closely connected or appropriate to what is to be done or considered. Closely connected or appropriate to what is to be done or considered. In other words, appropriate to the current time, appropriate to the current period, and appropriate to the current circumstances. And keep in mind that some people are not able or unable to stay relevant in this changing world. A lot of us are stuck. And so therefore, that's why we use that term, stuck on stupid. In other words, everybody's, a lot of people are stuck in the first grade, from the cradle to the grave. And a lot of these agencies and these organizations keep us that way. And I'm going to share with you along the way, to validate my point or my points. Again, some people are unable to stay relevant in this changing world. Either they're unable or they're not willing. So education is extremely important, family. And education should be relevant to our children, to the needs of our children, or each other. But let's keep in mind that a child is not an age, a child is a mentality, because we have a lot of old children. And so therefore, I'd like to share with you a recent experience, that someone was aware that I had a PhD in religion, and they were a pastor. That person was a pastor, female. I'm not going to mention any names. So, because I want to bring about the point. So, the person called me and asked me, would I like to be on their Roku show, TV show, and that they wanted to record me but for me to come up with a topic that I would like to share with the audience and to write some questions down that the host will ask me so that I can relay this information to them. So we were talking back and forth for about 15 minutes or so, and then we came. She was sharing with me what she was doing and what she's doing and what she has been doing, and that she's a pastor and so forth and so on, which is all well and good. And she asked me, "Am I a preacher or a teacher?" I said, "Well, I'm more of a teacher." I said, "We need more teachers in order to relay this information to our people. Instead of, I didn't say instead of, but we have a lot of preachers, but we need more teachers." So we went back and forth, and she said that a lot of our children, they don't like to read. I said, okay, now we have to look at the causes and the reasons and the whys that they don't like to read. See, we never get into that part, reasons and the whys. We just jump to conclusion. See, there's a reason and a why for everything. There's a cause for everything. But we want to jump to conclusions out of convenience. And a lot of it is based on self-hate, and we don't even know it's that. So I said, okay. I said, that's true. A lot of our children don't like to read. Because first of all, reading should start at home, because the mothers are the culture scientists. The mothers are the teachers, the master teacher. I don't care what school you send your children to. Mom should be the master teacher, especially when it comes to life skills. So she said that, yeah, they don't like reading and so forth. I said, now we got to look into the reasons and the whys and the causes. I said, that I can relate to myself, because it wasn't that I didn't like reading, it's that I couldn't comprehend. And don't forget, family, that the environment dictates. And so what is the environment but energy that is vibrating from a level of frequency? So I said that we need to teach our children the importance of energy, so that they will understand that everything is based on energy. And she said, "Oh no, they'll never understand that." I said, "Ma'am," I said, "how can you understand something that you're not even aware of?" You have to have an awareness in order to even get on the road to understand. So she came back and kept saying, "Well, they'll never understand energy." I say, "Ma'am, that's only science." I say, "Keep in mind that we are science. We are the scientists. So we should not undermine the abilities of our children." That's what they do in these public schools, these so-called charter schools, advanced schools, and all of this nonsense. Doesn't matter what school it is. You should develop a a, a method on being relevant in order to teach our children. Let's make it fun. But you in these schools and they force it on you, they throw it at you, you know what I mean? And that's no good, because children feel left out because they don't have that level of comprehension that the teachers or instructors feel that they should already have. What's the purpose of going to school if you already know? So I said, well, we have to stop undermining our children, because children can get it if we find a way to relay it to them. Let's make learning fun instead of jamming it on them, or in these public schools or these other schools, charter schools. They have a curriculum, and they have to get that curriculum out in a timely manner. They don't care if the children are learning or not. They don't. They don't care if you're learning. And as a matter of fact, they already got it clocked in that the males learn slower than the females. So check that out. That means that the male children are going to be left out even more so. They're going to be even more reserved and embarrassed. because they already understand the expectation that the boys are not going to learn as fast as the girls and all of this and all of that. So we need to stop that. We really do. We need to create an environment that is conducive to learning. Make it fun. It's all about the journey, our family. Let's make everything as fun. Create a process that is more fun and that makes them more willing to want to learn. So she said to me as a result, well, I don't think you'll be a good candidate because I don't think that they understand the things that you're talking about. I said, wow. I said, are you for real? She said, yes, because the children will never understand what you're saying. So what that tells me, that she doesn't understand what I'm saying. Keep in mind, family, like I said before, that a child is not an age. A child is a mentality. Some people are so religious that they forgot to be spiritual. This is what I've been saying all along about these pimps in the pulpit. They're not about learning. They're not about transforming. They're not about changing. They're not about adjusting. They're not about metamorphosing. They're not about moving. They're about standing or being stuck. That's why they can teach the same old stuff every year, the same time, and nobody's learning. Nobody's growing. Everybody's just emotional. That's why they got these bands in these churches now, so that you can get emotional about everything. But it's not about emotions. It's about learning. Learning, family. And we have to be students. We have to be about learning. And I'm getting my lighting straight. So, family, I'm saying that we have to be more relevant to our children, our future, the little us. Give them an opportunity to be a better version of us. But as I said before, some of us are unable to stay relevant in this changing world. That's why they can keep on feeding us the same old stories every year. And this is Easter time right now. They're going to teach us about the same old stories and the stories that are about people that we can never become. Why are you telling me this if I can never become that? You know, we don't know really if there was really a Abraham or a Adam or a Moses. We don't know that for real. But that's not even the point. The point is their mentality, their experiences, the causes and the effects, the spiritual meaning of the story. But they won't. That's why they say, well, no one can be like Jesus. Only Jesus can heal. Really? If I see a sad person, I can make them smile or laugh. That's not healing? Really? When Jesus said himself, if you believe as I believe, you are my brother, my Father in heaven is your Father. Things I do, greater things you can do. What? Why don't they teach that? Because they don't want you to know. Because they want control over you. It's all about control. I keep on warning you about these pimps in the pulpit. They don't want us to grow because they know that if we keep on growing, we're going to peep their game. So they got to keep us low. It is what it is, family. I know some of you say, oh, Dr. Sadiki don't know what he's talking about, but you'd be surprised what Dr. Sadiki know. And this is why I'm sharing with you what I do know. I don't have to. I'm doing it because I want to. I want you to know, family. And once you know, you can internalize it to a belief. And then you can become wise with what you believe. And then, above all that getting, get understanding. There's a process to everything in life. And most people don't want to go through the process. So as a result, you said, well, I don't think you'll fit in. I said, okay, no problem. Where one door closes, many other doors open. Doesn't matter to me. That's her laws, not mine. Truly. So family, she's another example of what I've been saying all the time of people looking down. We're looking down on each other because you know something. That don't mean you understand it. Obviously you don't understand it if you're saying what you're saying. So I just wanted to share that with you as an example of my experiences, and I'm sure that some of you had the similar experiences, but some people don't want to go there. Well, I don't want to hurt their feelings, or I don't want to rock the boat. Well, some boats we need to turn over and start all over. We have nothing to lose. We have everything to gain. How can you lose nothing? Nothing from nothing leaves nothing. So with that in mind, family, with that in mind, something that is relevant is important, or significant, family, is important or significant in that situation or to that person. Relevance is very important to that situation or that person. Relevant is significant and important. We need to be relevant. And there's some of us that are not afraid to contribute towards relevancy, if I may say. So family, relevance is important. So is there a difference? Somebody asked me this, Dr. Sadiki, is there a difference between relevant and important? And I say, wow, here go another deep question. Some people can be deep and don't even know they're deep, but that's a deep question and a very interesting question. And so I had to go in my bag again as usual. And I told them, yes, there is a difference in relevant and important. So they said, well, what's the difference? I say, well, relevant means something that is about the topic. It means something about the topic, or something to do with the topic, rather. But importance is something that may be significant to the topic. One has something to do with the topic, and one is significant to the topic. But guess what? They're very similar and they're very necessary. That's a marriage there. Relevance is important. You see what I'm saying? So check it out a little bit more for yourself. I'm just giving you a roadway or a leadway to go ahead on and look into it yourself. So, relevance means that which provides meaning and substance. That which provides meaning and substance to your life. Not because it is an experience which causes you to not only change your life, but change your behavior. That's how powerful relevance is. It is very necessary and very important. And it provides meaning and substance to your life. And that's a beautiful thing. We need to understand these terms, family. I'm bringing it back to etymology, the original meaning. We got to stop, dealing with things that are diluted and mixed already. All we're doing is arguing over ignorance. So I'm going to give it to you raw. Check it out for yourself. Some of these things might be new to you, but that's all well and good. Learning is hearing things and being aware of things and experiencing new things. But it can be painful, it can be hurting, it can be uncomfortable. That's all right. Understand the process. We have to be a process people. We have to be, and we have to be intentional about it. So relevance means that which provides meaning to our lives. It is an experience that will cause you to not only change your life, but change your behavior. Wow. That's deep. That's real deep, family. And we have to make everything more fun, be more, enjoyable, because it's all about the process. It's all about the journey. So enjoy the journey. Relevance is needed. Why is relevance needed? Because it adds air to be authentic, to make what you're saying more believable. It makes it's important because it adds an air of authenticity to your message or your topic or your subject matter in order to make it more believable. Relevance. Very, very important to be relevant, family, to be current, family, to keep up with the changes of this world, family, and stop fighting to stay the same when we should be moving and evolving according to what's going on, making the adjustments. So, what I'm saying is that the things that makes you relevant. Let's look at this. There are such things that make you relevant. Now, what are these things that makes you relevant? One, to be depended on. Can you be dependable? Two, a person who has leadership qualities. Three, a person who has expertise. And four, a person who can give you emotional support. These are people who are relevant. The person you can depend on, a person who have leadership qualities, a person who have expertise, and a person that can contribute to your emotional support, that can give you emotional support. Those are qualities, family, that makes a person relevant. Now, let me share with you also synonyms and antonyms. And as you know, synonyms are words that are similar to the topic, which is relevant. So, and there's many of them, but I always like to share it with you so you can see a broader picture of what I'm talking about. So, and synonyms of relevant are important, related, in place, purpose, logical, significant, compatible, provide, and suitable. These are some of the many that are synonyms. Now, the antonyms are opposite. See, everything has opposites. So the opposites or the antonyms of relevant are unimportant, unrelated, no purpose, out of place, illogical, unsuitable. These are some things that are antonyms. So we need to know both sides. Now, ask yourself, where are you? Let's be real, family. Let's make our journey as more enjoyable as possible. We have to stop being overly uh, serious and overly emotional and overly this and overly that. Everything is about balance, family. Balance. Isn't that science? I was told that the children will never get science when the children are science. And we have to let them know that everything that exists is energy, but it's vibrating at its own frequency. That's what makes it what it is. Even iron changes. You can't see the change with the naked eye. You can't see it changing, but you can see the change. When you see rust, that's the change. So everything must change. Nothing remains the same, including us. It's all about transformation, all about elevating, all about being a better you, a better version of you. That's the purpose of first grade, second grade, third grade, fourth grade, fifth grade. You elevate, and everything is a stepping stone to get where you're striving to get. But we got to keep in mind it's all about the process. And if you satisfy the process, you will always be successful. Always. And it could be a struggle going on there, but that's all right. You're beginning to learn who you are. And there's nothing wrong with that. Isn't that what it's all about? Learning about yourself, elevating yourself, challenging yourself. So the reasons to stay, and there are some reasons to stay relevant. So what are some of the reasons to stay relevant? And I'm going to give you a few of them and what comes to my mind. Number one, seek knowledge. Always seek knowledge, family. Always embrace social media so that you'll know what's going on in this world. Always stay fit. Right thinking, right giving, right eating. Holistic lifestyle. Always go out, and see what's going on. Go out and see what's going on. Observe. Number 5, family, dress to impress. I'm dressing to impress, family, of who we are. This represents our ancestors. Dress to impress. And number 6, always challenge yourself. How would you ever know yourself if you don't challenge yourself? Never allow anyone to challenge you more than you challenge yourself. The best challenge is self-challenge. That's how you get to know who you are. That's how you get to know yourself. To what is the law? Know thyself. For if you know who you are, you know who God is. Be real, family. Don't let them school you. Don't let them fool you. So those are some ways to stay relevant. Seek knowledge. Embrace social media. Stay fit. Go out to observe. Dress to impress. Because your image is the most important thing. There's more watching, family, than listening. And always be willing to challenge yourself. Because it's all good. So, family, some of us became totally confused. And we really need to reinvent ourselves. So let me share some things with you to reinvent yourself that you must be about in order to reinvent yourself. And the first one is to continuously learn. And keep in mind, don't be afraid to make mistakes or fail while you're learning. And failing and making mistakes should be a motivation to keep going. A motivation, not a burden. So continuously learn and don't be afraid to make mistakes. Hey, how many mistakes did we make from the first grade to the second grade? To the second grade to the third grade? We don't have a problem dealing with that, but when it comes to ourselves and the processes of life, we get kind of dumbfounded. There's nothing wrong with making mistakes. No one knows it all. If you know it all, then there's nothing to learn. Life can be boring. So keep on learning, family. You cannot go wrong. Not only that, family, but focus on the process more so than the desired outcome. Focus on the process. Because if you satisfy the process, you will always be a winner. And the outcome will be exactly or more than what you expected. Woo! But we got to give ourselves a chance. When you feel like giving up, that's the time to fight. We're not talking about no physical fight either. We're talking about here. There's where the real fight is always within. So, always be about focusing on the process. But we're not a process people. We're too emotional. And we think that because I feel better, I must be better. Don't be deceived by your feelings. That's what always got us in trouble. The wise man goes by what he knows, not what he feels, not his opinion, but what you know. So we got to start knowing something. So the process. Don't be afraid. Number 3, don't be afraid, family, to ask questions. No one knows it all. But some people have this false pride. I don't want them to know that I know. So I'm going to jump to conclusions. I'm not going to even ask them no questions. That's the arrogance in people. That's the pretending in people. Pretending that you know. But if I know if you know. So why make yourself look bad? If I'm a plumber, I know if you're a plumber. If my light is shining, I know if your light is shining. There's nothing wrong with asking. That's what real men do. That's what real women do. That's what real people do. They ask questions for clarification, not always pretending that they know everything, which you can never do. So, don't be afraid to ask questions. And always remember, family, to take time to reflect and relax. That's when you really get into your center. The peace is the center of you. Always remember to reflect and relax. Some people moving too fast and going nowhere. Tired as they can be, and they ain't gaining a damn inch. So we got to slow our pace down, family. Regroup. And make ourselves relevant to what's going on in this world, in this life, to fulfill our purpose and create a righteous legacy that will last for generations to come. That's what it's all about, family. Enjoy the journey. That's all I'm saying. So don't be a know-it-all, because you will eventually embarrass yourself, because some people do know. So family, when you show relevance, you must really ask yourself, what topics would people be willing to listen to and use? What topics? That's why I feel that the topics that I'm sharing with you will be something that is interesting, something that you can use personally. That's what you call self-awareness, self-development. So when you're showing relevance, you have to do that. You have to ask yourself, what subjects or topics can I share with people or the audience that will be interesting and that they can use it? I'm always sharing things that you can use to elevate yourself. Always. That's why I call myself a teacher. We have a lot of preachers, but a lot of preachers don't know how to teach. And a lot of preachers don't elevate. They don't make things relevant. They keep you stuck on the same old stories at the same old level. Nobody's growing. Everybody's frustrated in these cliques and so forth and so on. All emotional. We need to elevate, family. And that's personal. Keep in mind, as I always said, that religion is a group-oriented thing. That they develop beliefs and principles and stuff like that, or develop, different ways. But spirituality, family, is a personal, almost self-centered thing. That's you and your relationship with the Creator. You and your relationship with the ancestors. You and your relationship with yourself. But some people are scared of themselves. When they look in the mirror, they don't like what they see. So what you're doing is cursing God, cursing the Creator, cursing the Most High, because you should see yourself as the image and the likeness of the Creator, God, the Most High. But somebody told us that's ugly. We have to reverse it. We have to be relevant now. We can no longer go for the okie doke, family. Never again. So, relevant statements are statements, family, which let people know why they should be listening to you. I hope you hear me, family. Because relevant statements are statements which lets people know why they should be listening to you. And what I be giving people is things that they can use themselves to elevate themselves. It's not about Dr. Sadiki. It's about giving, sharing, respecting, caring, empathy, compassion, love. So in conclusion, family, we must be focused on one another while communicating. in order to trust each other again. We must be focused on one another while communicating, which will cause us to trust one another again, to believe in one another again, because we had lost all sense of that, and that all of that comes from self-hate. So we have to be intentional, family. When you're learning, the first thing is to make sure that you're open and flexible and be intentional to do that. Because if you got your fist closed, can nothing get in, can nothing get out. But if you're open and flexible, things can get in and things can get out. In other words, you're keeping it moving. Isn't that wonderful, family? To know that, to be reminded of that, to be encouraged to do that. So, family, relevant is important, and relevant is information that can be applied to solve any problem that comes to you, that presents itself. Again, let me say this, family, because this is very important, that relevant is information that can be applied to solve any problem. Doesn't matter what it is. So therefore, family, I pray that you got something out of this topic, relevant, which means closely connected or appropriate to what is being done or considered. In other words, appropriate with current time, current period, and current circumstances. And education must be relevant to our children. So sometimes we are going to have to make some adjustments that we're not used to. But guess what? There's the challenge. So in order to be a teacher, you have to be bigger than yourself. You have to be a team player, and you have to come from a frame of reference of on everything that you do. You should come from a frame of reference of those before us, which are the ancestors, which are the elders. Family, I just feel full of energy, and my frequency has elevated to another level by sharing this with you, because I'm stirring it up now, and I'm stirring it up within myself first. So stir it up. Stir up the energy and take it to another level. Be true to yourself. Make it real and keep it real. Family, I love you. I bless you, and I want you to prosper. Stay strong and keep your faith where it belongs, because life is for the living. Let the dead bury the dead. Do your best and let God do the rest. You got to know when to hold and know when to fold. But you have to have a sharp discerning spirit to know the difference, so you won't be using emotions. Keep your head towards the universe, family, where all strength comes from, and never give up and never, ever, ever, ever give in, no matter how things seem. That's emotions, because everything is, always was, and always will be in divine order. Our Creator, our God, the Most High, does not make any mistakes. But we do. But when you learn from your mistakes, it's all good. So keep on growing and keep on learning. You can't go wrong. And learning can be uncomfortable, it can be hurting, and it can be painful. But once you get to the other side, you can't beat the blessings. So give yourself a chance. Be ye in this world, but not of it. That's the challenge. So family, right thinking, Right giving and right eating is holistic life. Right thinking, right giving, and right eating. Holistic. Balance. So, family, happy new journey. Happy new life. Happy new you. We need you, family, more than you know. So let's transform and renew our minds to step it up to the spiritualness that we truly are. We are spiritual first, then mental, then physical. Because if we are the original people, we had to come directly from God because we are the first. Because of our disobedience, we drop down to the physical. So let's step it back up. Family, peace, Hotep, and Baraka. This is Dr. Sadiki Baye, your servant forever. This is not about me, it's about the team. So let's become team players and show our children that in spite of our differences, we can come together and show respect with love with respect. Because we need each other more than ever before. Family, blessings to you and be safe. Until the next time, as I said, this is Dr. Sadiki Baye, your servant, and you can call me at any time, 215-880-2013. If you want to purchase any of my 3 books, the first one is People Power, the second one is Raw Food for Thought, and the third one is Seems to Me, Things That We Must Acknowledge. Thank you, family, for your time and your consideration. Have a blessed one. Until the next time.